Hello and welcome. It is Saturday. It's the 28th day of March 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. We'll go over that of silver, all bets, trades of the like within each's own risk and their own reward. Before we get into the charts, let's take a look at a sign here. And it needs to be changed. Okay, yeah. That's the way the world is today. And this is becoming realistic. Now, whether people and companies will change these signs wouldn't surprise me. But the times we're living in, most certainly in that of... I don't know what noun to give it, and I don't even want to try to give it that. But for so long on here, I've been talking about reasons why you want to be out of fiat currency, and really in that of precious metals, and that of silver in particular. And for so much time, there's been ample opportunities to be able to get in and get fantastic prices. Currently, price action at 14 4/9 or 14.43. And another way of putting it is we're also where we were at these very low and lowest end prices back last year in 2019 and then at the end of 2018. This flash crash was an instant that happened very quickly when it came down to the 14 and change level, down to. It had a significant amount of time where you were able to get the lower end of the prices at the end of 2015 into 16. Price, of course, 14 and change. And then for a brief moment in here. And before that, the last time it was at this level was... Well, during the last time was coming from this bottom end area in here. And then it was there in 2007, I suppose. And then when it got up here in 2006. But to buy the silver at this price right now, no, there's no doing that. It's not happening. Premiums are very, very large. The supply for silver, the availability to get it, it's hard to get unless, of course, you're willing to pay for a very, very large premium. And even the premiums when you're buying things like silver eagles or silver maples on that of, the dealers online, like 3-week delays, 15 business days, very, very common thing to see. Thus, you're paying silver prices up to here when you're buying these silver eagles, and the premiums on the very generic discounted stuff. Because for me, buying in all of these days back in here, I mean, it really did, for the most part, really didn't matter for me other than the price action I'd be putting in, usually Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But with that being said, every single day was practically the same. I'm looking for, on generics, the value brands like Sunshine Mints and of the like. Okay, I'm looking for maybe 10%, 15% over the spot price. And now if you can get 35, 40%, I don't know how you're doing it, or they're just somebody just doesn't know how to sell, because it seems like 40% is the cheapest you're getting. And you get immediate delivery on those. But that's a premium you're paying for to get that silver practically now. And they're running out of that stuff, they as a dealer, is relatively fast. Now, how easy is it going to be for them to get that silver back? For me, I think it's going to be relatively difficult. Within the current situation that has occurred amongst this world this year, the obvious one, this has stopped all these different layers, refiners and minters and miners and all of these different levels from even producing. And there could be a lack of silver being produced this year. Thus, in situations where if it becomes very difficult for the dealers to be able to accumulate some supply, that becomes a very interesting situation if they, well, we'll just say quote unquote run out or practically run out. when all they got left is numismatic and overpriced items, then it's pretty much in a very serious situation. It's already a serious situation, but in a more serious situation, I would think. So as it comes down to it, having moves that could have green candle under the upside in here at extreme levels now becomes possible for the first time, like almost, at least if I'm looking for like, okay, yeah, 3, 4x, 7, 9, 10, 15, 20 plus X move relatively soon. This leg higher, this leg higher meaning months and months and months into 2021. Even into 2022 at even larger levels, maybe even as well. Not usually ever do I think that would be the case. It's like in here, yeah, I mean, silver's just in this little bit of a band in here. Again, like I stated, buying it for whatever, really easy. And I mean, silver's cheaper here than it is here. And it's probably even higher than these highs in here. It's getting to that. And it is. I mean, 19 and change, $5. Premiums, again, are getting practically out of whack. Or maybe you could say the prices are at least to the area of the highs back in here. And as I started with the opening image, you touch it, you buy it, which is becoming reality these days. And key terms, like one word being that of social, and the next one being that of distance or distancing. Before, a couple weeks ago, we just didn't put those two words collectively together when we were writing, saying, reading, hearing. We just didn't, with those words, we just didn't, that just didn't happen not too often. At least it's happened more in the last 2 weeks than the entire human history before then. Has those words ever been written, spoken, read, and heard? And that's how it goes, but it's going to be a short-term situation. And I think when it comes down to it, I know that if you want to be able to do best or do well in the game as far as trying to get good prices when you want to sell, for whatever reason, I don't care. But if you're looking to sell, well, there's going to always be people who are looking to buy. And we're in a situation of a market where there are other people who are wanting to sell the same thing that you would want to sell. We'll say silver as an example. That, of course, that person's looking to buy. So, of course, in the free market, if you're able to easily, say, buy a particular coin for 40, well, selling it for 40, what's your number? 42, 43? Or if that's just the case, you know other people are selling it for 40, hey, I'll go for 39, 38. And then try to give a good deal that way, try thinking maybe sell it. And that's try to avoid selling it for the lower price. Or basically the bid-ask price. It's another way of playing the bid-ask game. Again, this is just one way of going through it. And it's going to be difficult these times because the more we are into a lifestyle that we've adjusted to, and the more we stay in it, well, there's going to be times where we're going to be entering into that of a new black markets. I mean, we got people doing stuff like cutting people's hairs from their own home, like those type of black markets. And I'm pretty much being sarcastically serious. No, I'm not. That's no sarcasm there at all. It's getting to those types of stages. And, well, people will still find ways, of course, of being able. It might be really easy, especially when you know people amongst your own community that are looking to get it. Now, this is where it gets to the stage. If you're new into the understanding of fiat currency and precious metals and all that type of stuff. And I'm going to put up another presentation, another slide scale, rather that of an image. And it's the only one I'm going to show is this. Fiat currency, digital and physical. It's at the stage where you almost got to separate the two. Have some in one, have some in the others. If computers and banking systems go down, then the physical paper rectangles become very powerful. But now we're at the day and age where there's companies not accepting cash now. And that's like old news. That's like days and days and days ago now. Precious metals, of course, gold, silver. There's other ones, palladium, platinum, etc. But gold and silver, the main ones. And crypto's currencies, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Tezos, and then a bunch of dots because there's a whole bunch of them. And I wrote some words below diversification. What if? What if not? And situational living. I don't know if I spelled that right. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Probably did. Diversification. When you have, I mean, what other types of monies can you hold? I mean, really isn't. And current cryptocurrencies is new to the millennium. There really isn't any other ones, I don't think. But what if things get out of control and gold and silver become so great? What if not? What if what you think is going to happen, like, oh no, my fiat digital crypto or my fiat debt note cryptocurrencies in digital form, they're going to be good. They're going to be good, and well, maybe they might not be for you. And then if not, and then you have precious metals, you have cryptos. Well, at least you got what you need. And then situational living. What's each day going to bring? I mean, these days are much different, but the days coming up in June and in November and in 2021, 2022, 2028, they're going to be different. So adjusting to the situation. But a lot of people have an extreme amount in this category with practically 0 to none in this. Now, with things like cryptocurrencies, I've heard people say, well, no, I mean, I can't even buy, like, I can't buy anything with it. Like, how am I going to buy, like, a toilet paper with it? How am I going to, as long as it's for sale, of course, but anything that's available. For me, it's relatively easy. Once I get a couple confirmations in, even just one, I think, on Bitcoin, I can basically be buying on Amazon or checking out on Amazon a minute later. At least I know how to do it. So understanding the money you hold, how to get rid of it, how to sell it, how to move it. It's a lot easier to move cryptocurrencies than it is precious metals. Also, the potential gains on cryptocurrencies can be a lot higher as well. I've always referred to lately as gold and silver as the best I can state for a guarantee, which is why I state putting each of these three in a safe. You can't open it for like 5 years or 10 years. I can put a private key to any of these cryptocurrencies. Maybe I can throw 50 Bitcoin Cash on there or whatever. Throw a bunch of Bitcoin, bunch of Tezos on it, and we'll see what happens with it. But they could be worth a lot. They could be worth nothing. Or they could be worth very little. Fiat currencies. We could be on a stage where the wheelbarrow days might be 2.5 years from now. I don't know. Where people need to... That's how you have to transport those notes and how much purchasing power they'll have then. And gold and silver, I think we're going to be in, and this is long-term thinking, but I think, like I say, the guarantee for the best that I can, quote unquote, and of course, I mean, there's nothing I guarantee on especially a video with no cost to view. Any results that come within these, markets, of course, price movements. But it really wouldn't surprise me if these things go well. And then if you're in a situation where you need to get into this, as I'm stating, I don't know what choices you have. I mean, I could just imagine if I was in a spot where I'm just learning now about fiat currencies, and I'm learning about precious metals, and I'm learning about all this type of stuff. What else could I do? And I'd have to pay such a large premium for the coins that I can get today. Because I think there's going to come a situation where there's going to be people that are going to be buying coins like Silver Eagles and Maples and all the good stuff that got this delay. And not only are you paying the premiums for it on now, but then you're not going to get it. They're going to refund you in fiat currency, and with silver prices most likely significantly higher. I would not be surprised as we move forward that we have situations where we do see like monster, like into every single day. It's just like we see in the stock markets, how it goes down like 500, 800,000 points a day. And similar reverse things with this going up, where I'll get $5 today, $12 today, $26 this day. Just out of control type of moves. And thus testing potentially these extreme levels from this previous $50 twice hit high not shown in this video, Could if I want, but I just don't feel like it now. But getting past these 50 levels, and I mean, it could be like, okay, $50 1 month, 8 months later, it's post 200. Or even 4 months or 3 months later. Because the immediate move in a situation where the supply is hard to get, well, the rate of ascents can make rate of ascents like that just nothing. I mean, meaning we'll destroy these rate of ascents that it had at the start of the millennium, meaning at a higher rate of ascent. And again, things like that wouldn't be a surprise. Like an immediate, like maybe not like that, but like, could we be $50 in from any of these low points in here and like break this resistance, and next thing you know we're at $50 like a month later or 6, 7, 8 weeks later? You know, that wouldn't be a surprise. And when I talk about gold maybe going to 5,000 like it's no tomorrow as well, a lot of people are going to be flocking in to that of gold. But I think a lot of the same psychology is going to come into play. And I'm thinking of another thing as I'm saying this now, but the lot of psychology is just like in cryptocurrencies. People are like, oh my goodness, if you want to put something, you can't get much Bitcoin. Like I only got a few $1,000s and you're not even getting a full Bitcoin. Or you got a good sum. You got like 100 grand you want to put in, and you're barely getting over 10. You're like, man, you can get these other cryptocurrencies. You get a lot more in numbers. It's all psychological in the sense of right now it's worth the same in market value. But you look at how much little gold you get with the dollar that you're putting into it. It's like, not fantastic. And what I was thinking of as I'm moving, another reason why gold might be coming good in the short term as well, at least in market price, is because when there's just no silver available, well, gold's still available. And the premiums aren't quite as bad, but they're rising steadily as well, too. So that might be a reason short term as far as gold sales, or people might buy gold over silver, where normally they might buy silver just because it's available, and then they just can't handle the premiums on silver as it is. Now, that's a possibility that I was just thinking of, like, literally just as I'm doing this. But anyway, yeah, for years and years, going back since really in here, I've been stating, because of a fiat debt-based monetary system guaranteed to cause debt, that I believe that this thing is going to be going haywire to the upside. I thought back in here that realistically, I mean, a conservative thing is that it'll be by 2020, by the end of 2019, that this thing will be done. Like this thing is in the monetary system as we know it today and back then. But no. So, I mean, all this like, oh my goodness, okay, well, it's longer than I thought. And then I was thinking as we were going into 2018, especially into 2019, you know, this is looking pretty good that maybe this thing can span several years into the like 2020s, like 2023, 24, before we start to see out of control inflation. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. Markets and all these types of things are going to do what they're going to do. All I can do is assess the situation and risk-reward management from those points. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.